Yo, welcome to Now Trading Co. It's official. This is not your average Discord, and this is not your retail foo guru. I have built this shit solely myself. 5 years straight discipline, charts, gym, my own mind, bro. You are not here to just fucking guess anymore, bro. You are here for a reason. This is a calling. You are here to develop the true understanding of the markets. You are here to master execution and have a refined risk model, my friend. Inside the server, we do not trade off of emotion. We trade off of pure precision. Okay? We execute off of time, memory, and behavior. Okay? We use the same logic the algorithm moves with. Okay? I'm developing, I'm calling it the silver spoon method. It's higher time frame narrative. I use a 15-minute fair value gap or consequent encroachment. That'd be a low time frame entry, 1 minute or a 15-second. Okay, and the execution is only during certain time windows. All right, those are the time macros. All right, and I will walk you guys through it all here. Stay tuned. All right, fam, let's hop onto the computer, MacBook, cell phone, whatever the case may be. All right, we go ahead and find the App Store if we're on a mobile device or Chrome or whatever the case is. Open it. Find Google bar, Google Trading View download. Right? We click this, right? And then we download for whatever the case may be. Once you download it, we run it. All right. As soon as we are presented with this, we're presented with a sign in option. All right. We go ahead and click sign up. Mine has settings saved, I guess. So I trade futures. You will trade futures if you are here. I promise. You are trading NASDAQ, gold, ES, whatever else. Like, those are the three I only trade. So as soon as you install TradingView and you have it set up, this is what we're presented with, okay? And the first thing that is crucial to our development in the longevity of time, in the bottom right, over here, it's time zone. Set it to New York time. And then right next to it, here, right ETH. So you can click this and we will be able to cycle through regular trading hours. And regular trading hours is nothing more than purely New York time. New York open right there, 9:30 to close at 4:10. Well, technically 4:10. All right. So the second thing we do, okay, there's this icon here. This is settings. Okay. We just leave it to auto, regular. We click more settings, okay? More settings. Time format at the bottom, 12 hours. The canvas, you could get rid of the crosshair if you want. You could get rid of the grid line in the background. Do as you please. The watermark, okay? Nothing too crazy. And then you have symbol. And here, this is exactly what I need everybody to do. Change your colors. I don't care what you do with them. I use white for bullish and purple for bearish. And I set the body opacity to 40 approximately. And that's all I do with them. There. And then that's that there. That is the basis of your charts looking sexy. Right? Sexy looking charts. So the next thing is tools. What I will have you honing in on. All right. The tools we always use. Okay. We always will use a trend line. We'll always use horizontal ray. And we always use a vertical line. Okay. We always use Fibonacci retracement. Okay. We don't use price range, but I'd love to have that. And excuse me, I have an itch. And last but not least, the beautiful rectangle. Okay. That are our tools. This right here is what makes us an artist. Right? So we have trend line, horizontal ray, vertical line, Fibonacci retracement, price range, and a rectangle. Okay. With the trend line, I just do an orange line, and I call this macro. Okay. I set this like 20. I set it in the middle, and we'll save this as a dash macro. So now we have a macro line. This is what's going to mark out the time frames that we trade in to keep us disciplined, so we know, oh, I have to wait for that specific area to place a trade. Okay. So a next trend line is like, I like to use, I just do a white line, and I do white 3 money on the left. Okay. And then I'd save this as just B dash money. So this is your money line, right? I'll explain what it is, but in essence, it's just like to mark where I want to get in at. So smart money is always getting in at lows and highs. They're buying against the grain, promise. So retrospectively, that's exactly how I would position. I would have this money line. This is my money line. So yeah. The next is a horizontal ray, right? So like horizontal ray, I will use a buy side. You know what? I have it, so I'm just going to save it. So all I'll do is set it as green, and then the text I'll put buy side liquidity, okay? And then the same exact thing, but in red, and I will call this sell side liquidity, okay? So retrospectively, it's like that. So you can see it's in an accumulative state. So the next tool that we use is Fibonacci, okay? So when you first get out of Fibonacci, this is what it looks like. This is what you're presented with as Fibonacci. So to make Fibonacci actually work in our favor, we click in to the setting. One more time, presents this bar. Settings, right? Turn off trend line, okay? Turn off background, okay? Extend lines to the right, okay? And then we could just go ahead and turn off all of these, all right, to start. So we have 0, which is a starting point, okay? And then we're going to have 0.5, okay, in red, okay? And then we're going to have 1, the same gray, match it, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you could turn the opacity off if you want. So save as a template, and you will save this as consequent encroachment. I can't spell, by the way. For short, just C.E, and then a roughing of it is wick. See this wick? Literally, one tool we always use too is this magnet here. Look, this one right here, the magnet tool. Always use that, okay? So we're gonna magnet to the high, to the low, and there's your consequent encroachment. So there's a potential short target. That's just Ruffington. And another one that we use is gonna be settings again. This time it's gonna be 0.25. It's gonna be 0.5. It's gonna be 0.75, and it's gonna be 1 again. And then I leave these on max opacity, and then the 0.5 is red, and then the other two are turquoise. And then I save this always as 0 to 1, like levels. Turn this one gray. 0. Anyways, so you see the gist. So how I would use this is like, so for right here, 0 to 1. So got 0 to 1. We got 75, 50, and 25%. So you can see accumulating, failing to make a higher high here, move lower, accumulating at that 50, moving lower. But that's just an idea of how we use it. We use the vertical line literally as like a macro. That's it. So like for instance, I would use it for right here, 1250, 10. Look for my entry, see if we can sweep, whatever. Just having a rough idea of specifically the tools that we are going to start using, because the next video is going to be deep dive into the philosophy behind the actual trading, like what I'm looking for, when I'm looking for it, why I'm looking for it, what time I'm looking for it at. I don't want this intro video to run too long, so just stay tuned. So much more to come. I'm going to have that Discord open, like I said. The next video is actually going to be purely on what I look for in a trade. And then, yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon. All right, fam. I know that was a lot, But let me say there is so much more to unpack, and here is the deal. I'm going to be dropping a video daily. Each one is going to be focused, simplified, and straight to the point. We're laying the full foundation from chart setup to real execution. So by the end of this, you will see the market completely different if you stick with me video by video and watch how this starts to click. This is Now Trading Co. Theo signing out.